This is absolutely crazy, and I can't believe what I'm reading right now. I cannot believe that this just happened in crypto. The long story short, Binance, we talked about it earlier. They got themselves a $4 billion fine, right? Well, that was the start. The CEO of Binance, boom, he just quit. He just stepped down, but it gets worse. Apparently, he right now, and I'm checking it right now as we go, is facing 18 months in prison as part of his plea deal with the US government. Justin, I think crypto prices can actually still come down partially because of this. When the news broke of Binance going into some sort of plea deal here, I wasn't actually bearish. But the fact that CZ faces up to 18 months in prison, and now more and more details are being revealed as the hours come further, people start figuring out a lot of shady things. And let's put first and foremost, I personally don't think Binance did anything wrong. I still think in the grand scheme of things, they're doing this for the betterment of crypto, not because it's necessarily just. But they did make a couple goofy mistakes. And again, goofy is not the right word, but this is what people are starting to uncover right now. This is all going pretty viral. Binance knowingly allowed some parties that were sanctioned to actually continue trading. But like a lot of people in the comments were saying, you don't actually know if they did. In theory, anything can be made up, but let's take a little bit of a look. So CZ himself said, "Today I stepped down as the CEO of Binance. Admittedly, it was not easy to let go emotionally, but I know it's the right thing to do. I made mistakes, and I must take responsibility. This is best for our community, for Binance, and for myself. Binance is no longer a baby. It is time for me to let it walk and run. I know Binance will continue to grow and excel with the deep bench it has. I'm pleased to announce that Richard Tang, is our former global head of regional markets, has now been named the CEO. Richard is a highly qualified leader, blah, blah, blah. I will still remain available to the team to consult as needed, consistent with the framework set out in the US agency resolutions." And it basically says that for right now, he's taking a little break, and afterwards probably do some passive investing into startups and things like that. Should there be listeners, I may be open to being a coach and mentor to a small number of upcoming entrepreneurs. Hey, that could actually be pretty interesting. If nothing else, I can at least tell them what not to do. And on that note, I am proud to point out that in our resolutions, because that's what this is all about, with the US agencies, they do not allege that Binance misappropriated any user funds. And they do not allege that Binance engaged in any market manipulation, and your funds are safe. With that, I look forward to seeing the new leadership take the reins. Please join me in congratulating Richard, which brings us to point number 2. As you can see right here, all the news is spreading like wildfire. The US government banned CZ from engaging and managing Binance's operations. Happened about an hour ago. Just slightly before that, you can see this was watched by a lot of people, but unfortunately I was not available. Department of Justice officially indicted Binance and CZ. The government criminally charged Binance with the following: conspiracy, conducting unlicensed money transmitting business, and violating International Emergency Economic Powers Act. And once more, like we stated earlier, they were officially set to pay 4.3, because that's again what they settled on, I believe already, right? I'm not so sure on that because it's a little bit confusing with what will actually be paid in the end. It says right here they agreed to pay $4.3 billion to settle their case with the US government, and they pled guilty to violating criminal anti-money laundering requirements. Sorry, I keep getting calls in the midst here. But CZ's discussions to step down as criminal investigation ends. But again, this is the whole process. Unfortunately, we were not there for a part of the process, but right now we're here covering everything that went on. Department of Justice to announce Binance settlement in press conference today. Well, they did. Binance agreed to pay $4.3 billion. He's facing 18 months in prison. Many people I've spoken to right now, many people in my YouTuber group chats are saying he will probably not actually go to jail for 18 months. People even say now, even though he's convicted and he agreed to the settlement, it says right here, right? You're seeing in front of you as well, that he is facing 18 months with part of his plea deal, but that will still be discussed. That will most likely still be changed, and he won't actually spend any time in jail, even though that's the number that's showing up right now. But of course, across the board, the guys at Coinbase, the guys at Ripple had some interesting words to say at this. I like Ripple's legal officer's Thoughts on this, Chief Legal Officer? The Binance resolution of anti-money laundering violations is a necessary step to bring the crypto industry into compliance with the important laws and safeguards. Big banks all went through some version of this years ago. Let's, as a basis, put down here that at the end of the day, all that CZ basically recognized and came into accordance with, as far as I'm concerned, is that he's running a crypto exchange. When you look at everything he's basically saying yes to, it's like, well, yeah, we ran a crypto exchange. If you want to fine us $4.2 billion, 4.3, well, I'll accept the plea deal here and let's move on. And again, Ripple's side is now saying that this was something huge for crypto because it was necessary as an initial step. Importantly, nowhere does the Department of Justice suggest that Binance committed security law violations or even suggest that the asset traded on its platform are securities, which is actually pretty huge. The Treasury and CFTC joined the Department of Justice in the Binance deal, and the SEC did not, meaning the SEC can still actually come after them again after this, right? And was glaringly absent from the stage today. This sends a clear message that the agency, under Gensler, has not only become an outlier globally, but an outlier within its own government. And that's mostly what we were discussing a bit earlier today, that indeed the SEC seems to really have lost their mind on a lot of different parts. The SEC, like a petulant child who can't stand being ignored, tweeted its misguided suit against Kraken at 3 p.m. Eastern Time today, the exact time the Department of Justice press conference regarding Binance was scheduled to begin. Truly a second-hand embarrassment at this juvenile behavior. Once more, this basically meant that one part of the government, Department of Justice, crazy important case against Binance, right? But at that exact time, they start tweeting something completely different out. Crazy. Because if they thought that the U.S. investors, and this is my own opinion, right? But if they thought the U.S. investors' protections were that important, they'd send everybody to watch the Department of Justice talk about the biggest crypto exchange out there. And in this case here, they probably already knew, the guys at the SEC, that they were not going to be let go easy. So I really find that quite odd. Remember, the SEC's fabricated term, crypto asset securities, is nowhere to be found in the Department of Justice case against Binance because it has no meaning under the law. The courts have been very clear that the tokens themselves are not securities. It's just Binance in the wrong. We've got a little video to watch, actually. This is about 35 seconds. Take a look at this. And if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and press that like button. You don't know, you don't want to know the amount of effort I had to went to get this video out to you guys right now. But there's worse things, right? I love getting this news out to you guys. So let's get it going.
And for more, we're joined by Bloomberg's Hannah Miller. When you look at this guilty plea coming from the head of the world's largest crypto exchange, weeks after the Sam Bankman-Fried trial ended, how much of a cloud is there over the industry still?
It's yet another stunning blow to the crypto industry. CZ is the biggest name in crypto right now. Binance is the largest crypto exchange by trading volume in the world. So this is a major hit for an industry that's just been beset by scandals and scams.
Yeah, absolutely. And for more...
Now, watching that video, right, I don't really understand what this has to do with scams. And I also don't really know why you'd have to bring up Sam Bankman-Fried. Some people were pointing out, what if that guy's pointing some fingers in some back rooms and, you know, this is a little bit more coordinated than meets the eye. Perhaps this is just the Department of Justice going after the crypto blanket. They want to go after them all because right now seems to be the time. Crazy amounts of FUD. I'm just looking through. People are fearful, but I'm still extremely bullish. I don't care about people, about people's opinions that much because most of them are misguided. They see this news as something really surprising, really crazy. It's crazy from the perspective that he actually agreed to settle for $4.3 billion and jail time. It's not crazy the Department of Justice, etc. tried because we're used to them doing these ridiculous things. What is more peculiar is the attitude. But yeah, there's so much more to this. I think if I had to read all this, we'd be busy for another half hour or so because obviously it's a big thing. Yeah, it's a pretty huge thing. Interestingly enough, I was going to meet up with some Binance people, I think tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, but I'm not sure if that's going to go through anymore now. Perhaps these guys are all going to have to go into some discussions for a bit. Binance processed in like this year 52,000 law enforcement requests. This is just crazy. It, by the way, is 3 a.m. Dubai time, and I just thought, let me order some stuff. Oh, what am I doing with my life? Matter of fact, it is 3:20 a.m. right now. So before this video goes out, it's like 4 a.m. Damn. Yeah, so we're definitely not reading through all this, but it is pretty wild. The fact that Binance was so on the side of regulatory stuff, and at the end, not much is going to change for the most part. I don't think Binance is going to go bankrupt. It doesn't make sense. But people are saying, take your money off of Binance right now, just to be sure. And if you wanted a different crypto exchange, the one I personally use all the time is Bybit. I've left a link for it down below. And right now, you'll get yourself a pretty massive sign-up bonus anyway. And again, pretty bullish on Binance. I think they'll do fine. It seems that way, right? There's no logical reason as to why they couldn't continue on. But I will say yet again, if you do want to switch, I've left a link to Bybit down below, and I'll also leave another link for my leverage traders that were using Binance all the time to ZoomX. You don't need to KYC, no VPN. I know these guys in real life, they're good peoples, but that's another exchange for all the leverage traders out there that I've been using for a little while. A lot of other popular YouTubers use it because, once more, most crypto exchanges have all these different rules. Some don't. I guess to that degree, it's kind of peculiar as to what's happening right now. I still can't believe 18 months jail. That is so crazy to me. But I don't think he'll end up serving it. It's just a little scare for right now. But yeah, I want to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. If you enjoyed the video though, make sure you give it a little thumbs up. Also, because I've got my little acai bowl and my, what is this? Avocado bread and some other things are in there. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed the rest of your day, even though crypto prices are going down. And I will warn you, they can come down a little bit more, even though it doesn't logically make sense. If any more negative news comes out from Binance from saying like, hey, we're going to limit withdrawals, we're going to do this, do that, bankruptcy proceedings, crypto will dump hard. Just a warning. The only thing I'll say, though, is Bybit is the one I'm using right now. And for the most part, we look solid. And I don't think BNB is going to be doing so well for a while. Matter of fact, it's down, 12% just now. The entire crypto market is not doing so well off of this news, which makes sense. But I still think the bull market is here. But yeah.